Super Dario World. Moving on, we'll be moving on to movies and TV news. So I'll begin on a positive note. Okay? And then we'll move on to other less fun things. But I've been watching, over the weekend, I watched a new TV show, and it's phenomenal. It's called Mobland. I think it's on Paramount Plus. So it's a...
I didn't watch this one, but I haven't watched it because you said it. It's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, we have, Paramount Plus for free, technically. So it's like, all right, I'll watch it. I don't care. You can also watch it at my parents' house. So just go visit them and watch the show. You can. Anyway, it's like 8 episodes so far. The cast is phenomenal. You know, you got here Tom Hardy, Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren. Like, what more do I need to say, right? The show is created by Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie actually directs a few episodes. This is, I don't know if he created it, though. Well, he's directed it and he wrote a bunch. But this is the least Guy Ritchie show Guy Ritchie's ever made. The least Guy Ritchie product Guy Ritchie's ever made. Because there's the whispers of Guy Ritchie in the dialogue sometimes, but the style's completely different. It's closer to The Sopranos or Sons of Anarchy than it is to Guy Ritchie. So it's great. It's really well written, phenomenally acted. And you know what's the thing that actually got me to watch this show? I saw, because a few friends mentioned it, I saw the trailer. And in the trailer, I saw this man. Do you recognize him?
Yes. Wait, is that fucking that's the fucking king?
Yeah, that's the one and only Viserys Targaryen.
That's my king right there.
Our boy fucking Viserys, Paddy Considine. I was like, what? Viserys Ascendant? I gotta watch it. I was on the fence. It's like, no, I gotta watch. I gotta see what the hell Viserys is up to. The show, honestly, it's fucking great. I've watched 4 episodes so far. Loved it. Every single one, every single second. It's very interesting. They do one thing that kind of annoyed me, and there are a few rules of cinema that annoy me, that I don't think should be followed, or not followed all the time, or they should be used differently, or it might even be a rule. It's kind of like a trope, I guess. But let's say, there's certain rules that make perfect sense, like the 180 rule. For those of you who don't know what the 180 rule is, basically, a camera cannot jump over 180 degrees when you're making a cut. So the best way that I can explain that is, let's say you and me are having a conversation, and we're sitting at a table. We're sitting on a square table, and we're having a conversation. Imagine that the camera, the audience, is sitting right between us, you know, like on the side. So it's a square table. It's you and me face to face, and there's somebody sitting on the side, so right in the middle. Does that make sense? So that would be the camera. So,
like, you know, on the fourth wall.
Sure. So if you are the camera, when I'm speaking and I'm to your left, you're going to turn to the left, and you're going to be seeing most of my right side. When you're speaking and when it turns to you, he will be seeing primarily your left side. So it's keeping within these 180 degrees, basically. If the camera were to jump, so let's say it's from my right shoulder.
If you put us on full screen.
Pretty much. So no, if it hits you, let's say if it's an over the shoulder shot. So if it's over my right shoulder, the next shot, the furthest it can go is over your left shoulder. So it would keep us within the 180 degrees. If it all of a sudden, if the shot is from my right shoulder and the next shot is over your right shoulder, it would be the equivalent of you magically appearing on the other side of the table and still keep looking left. Does that make sense?
It's very difficult without a visual.
Okay, so I can do it. Actually, I can do it here with the cameras. So let's say right now that would be like an over the shoulder for me, and I am to the left, right? So where are you? So let me see that. Let me see.
Right here.
All right, so okay, that would be to your left. All right, and all of a sudden,
okay, so I'm like this.
Yeah, here you go. And I appear right here. Okay? And then it goes back to you. And so it's... Actually, no, you fucked it up. You're doing it the wrong way. So it would be kind of like this. So we're having the conversation. No, like don't fucking move. Just stay the way you were. All right, so it's like that. You appear like that. You move the wrong way. And so it feels natural the way that you're looking. But if all of a sudden I'm like this, and now you... Actually, no, this is the right way. Anyway, this is confusing. I can't...
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, put us on the half and half. I think it's supposed to be like like we're actually looking at each other, right?
Kind of. The point is...
That's why I kind of go like this, because it seems like I'm talking to you right there.
Sure. That the point here is there are... let me just fix this camera real quick. That's a rule, and it's based off of human biology, and it makes sense. And I don't know why I went on that tangent. The point is, that's a good rule, okay? It's fair. Oh shit, I'm late to the party. Sup, Chuck Dominguez. I don't know why there's been internet issues. It's been bizarre. But thanks for joining us. Who the guy with the beard? Don't fall in love with the beard. I'm probably gonna lose it by the next podcast. But anyway, back to this shenanigans before it distracts me.
He said, "Who's the guy without the beard?" And I'll be getting it back eventually.
Oh yeah, turns out I can't read. Anyway, so what was I even saying?
Now we should break line of sight, and now I look this way and you look the other way.
Shut up. Anyway, so there's a rule or a trope that I almost don't want to say because it will ruin the way you see certain movies. But the trope basically is that when a character is standing in front of a mirror, it's like a sign that basically that's the traitor. It's a sign that this is duplicitous. So whenever you're watching a whodunit or a spy movie or something, or a traitor, whenever somebody stands in front of a fucking mirror, you're like, okay, that's the guy. And I hate it because it's a giant spoiler, right? Now, they could do that in clever ways. Like, for example, I love the way mirrors look in movies. And so what I would do is I would just do a bunch of mirror shots all the time, and people be like, wait, what the fuck? I thought he'd be the traitor. Turns out he's not. Turns out I just like the shot. So they subverting expectations, so to speak. But now here they did it, and I was like, man, now I know who's duplicitous. And that kind of annoyed me, but well, it wasn't the worst because they kind of got through that real quickly, but whatever. Now, there's also a difference between like being a surprise, and I think when somebody's a traitor, it should be more of a surprise, more than suspense, but whatever. Point is, that's the only knock I can actually give the show, and it's a minimal knock because it really doesn't affect much.
So the show's a bit of a whodunit kind of thing?
No, it's just all right, so it's the mob. Let me just give you a quick summary. So Pierce Brosnan is the head of a mob family in the UK. His grandson is kind of a fuck up, and he may or may not have killed the son of a rival mobster. So it's part of finding out what happened to the other kid because they don't even know if he's dead or not. So it's finding out what the hell's up with the other kid. Can you even trust the fuck up? Because obviously he's going to be lying through his fucking teeth because he's a fuck up. Also, he was fucking high as shit. And there's also the cops sniffing around, things starting to feel shady, stuff like that, mob stuff. So it's a really interesting show. And Tom Hardy's basically that family's fixer. Okay, the go-to guy, per se. The son who's not blood related. Does that make sense? Oh, by the way, Gus Becerra says congratulations on finally transitioning. So there you go.
Thank you. That is... What the fuck kind of spelling is that of my name?
Erica. It's because you're Erica now.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's right there on the screen. Oh, it's not on the screen right now. Like, let me show you. Like, it's right there on the screen, guy. Come on, it's right there. Anyway, whatever.
That is the most impressively bad spelling of my name. Anyways,
thanks for joining us, guys.
I appreciate the congratulations. At least I like the implication that I look pretty.
There you go. Or I'm just less masculine, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I highly recommend this show. It's great. Bro. Like, honestly, it's been a while since I've watched the show. I've been like, damn, that's a phenomenal new show. So highly recommend it. Now, Erica, you wanted to recommend something, so here you go. Floor's yours, buddy.
So I recently watched the highly anticipated 28 Years Later by director, I believe it's Danny Boyle.
Yep, Danny Boyle.
Thanks.
Yep, Danny Boyle.
And I am here to say that this movie is, I think it's pretty good.
Okay. Is it better than 28 Days Later? So for those of you who don't know, what is the 28 Later franchise?
Well, it is actually the movie that kind of was the reason that we had the big zombie craze of the mid to late 2000s. That's the movie that kickstarted it pretty much.
I think you're wrong.
After that movie came the freaking Dawn of the Dead remake. And after that came Left 4 Dead and freaking Walking Dead.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's the one that started the movement.
It's the one that started Fast Zombies.
Yep.
Which just goes to show people that just the slightest obvious changes in some things can really revitalize an entire genre. Like, how did nobody think ever since the 70s? What if these zombies were fast?
What if they ran?
What if they were like quick instead of like Now, 28 Days Later, actually we recently rewatched the whole trilogy because, you know, we wanted to see the first two before seeing the third one.
Understandable.
The first one is still the best.
The one
I'll say that.
With Academy Award winner Cillian Murphy?
Wait, is it Cillian or Killian?
Whatever, doesn't matter. I think it's Killian. I think it's Killian.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Scarecrow.
Yeah. Yes. Oppenheimer.
Scarecrow.
And yes, that movie is the best one. But this new movie's definitely better than 28 Weeks, dude. That movie's weak as fuck.
You know, 28 Weeks. The opening
it has
sequence.
The best intro though.
The opening sequence is phenomenal. It's top notch. It's honestly it's the same problem. Well, not the same problem, but it's a similar problem as I've said with Saving Private Ryan. The beginning's too good. You put the best part in the beginning, so it's all downhill from there. It doesn't matter if the rest of the movie's phenomenal. The best is the opening sequence, and it goes downhill. Now, the issue with 28 Weeks Later is that the rest of the movie kind of sucks and it's stupid. But it's that opening sequence, dude, from beginning to end, phenomenal, top-notch cinema.
I would say if you were gonna watch the whole franchise, I would say watch 28 Days for sure.
Okay.
Phenomenal movie still. Mm-hmm. Then watch the intro to 28 Weeks. And you can pretty much skip the rest of the movie because believe me, this new movie ignores what happens in 28 Weeks.
Honestly, that's actually probably the best advice you could have given anybody.
So 28 years, I would rate it probably, if I'm being generous, it's an 8.
All right, so
probably closer to 7.5.
So what is 28 Days Later? 9? 9.
I would say that a 9.
Okay.
Maybe getting to a 9.5. It was rather low budget.
Sure.
And the movie is starting to show its age, but overall, I mean, it's still a great fucking movie.
Okay.
And you know why it still works?
Because they kept it simple.
They kept it simple, and all of the characters are great. You like the characters.
You want them to survive.
You want them to live.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the horror is always there.
And 28 weeks, this guy can die. This girl can die. I get it. All right. Cool.
Also, I forgot Jeremy Renner was in it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't seen it in like 20 years. But all right. Cool. All right.
But 28 years, it's a really, I would say the first half, I would say it's like an 8.5. Like, it's a really strong first half. The second half, it kind of turns into a different movie.
Okay.
And like the movie doesn't go in the direction you think it's gonna go. So it sort of sets up a certain style of survival movie,
So
but then they don't go for it.
Is it like World War Z, where all of a sudden the second half they're in a building, which should have been a second sequel or something?
I don't really remember World War Z much.
Oh,
I saw it one time in the movie theater when it came out.
Okay.
I remember the freaking the Pepsi freaking advertising though.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, I mean, zombie apocalypse, you gotta have a Pepsi though.
Oh, of course, definitely.
But no, the first half of 28 years really strong. The second half, kind of so. Though I will say, I do have a big problem with how they ignored 28 weeks.
Okay.
At least at the end. At the end of 28 weeks, basically, the virus is implied that it's going to go global.
Yeah.
Because you see zombies coming out in Paris.
Yes. Zombies in Paris.
I think they... This movie basically retcons that and makes it so that, the virus was contained in the rest of the world and basically just stayed in the UK.
Okay.
So the rest of the world continued for 28 years. They got these things. They got smartphones.
Okay.
And they just left the UK to fucking rot. They don't even drop in. They don't drop in like care packages with guns or like food or nothing.
Honestly, I kind of love it. That's like, yeah, fuck those guys. Like the French, are like, we're not helping you guys. You're disgusting. With you and your fucking zombies.
Understandable from the French, but you're seriously telling me that in 28 years nobody gave a fuck about at least giving them like a phone line or just teaching them about the internet or something?
Nah, man, fuck those guys. Screw them.
Now, don't get me wrong. So the movie wanted to go for a kind of, it kind of has a medieval feel at the beginning because it starts off in a village that's sort of like in an island that's kind of separated from off the coast of the UK. But whenever the tide goes down, there's like a path that they can walk.
Okay.
It looks really cool.
All right.
And in that village, it's a small town, and these guys are... It also feels like the movie actually needed more time to go by than 28 years, because like this society has completely regressed to like medieval warfare. Like, these guys are shooting bows and arrows, and like using like wooden spikes. It's like a lot of these guys that are alive, they would have been alive when there were guns. And, but whatever.
Fun.
It's fun. The first half is really fun. Second half is a bit weak, and the ending's weak because they basically set it up. They're gonna make a trilogy.
Man, this is the ending of a trilogy. Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right.
No, it's a start of a new trilogy, and I am not optimistic because the next one is going to be directed by the lady who directed The Eternals.
Oh God, no! Jesus Christ! All right, so I'm already on that. Anyway, moving on. So this one's interesting because it's a movie that I was considering watching, and now I'm definitely not going to watch after a conversation I had with a friend, and that's Jurassic World Rebirth. So, full disclosure, I have not seen this movie. I barely watched the first trailer. I was considering it because I like dinosaurs. And I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should go back to the movies. Maybe I've been too bitter. Maybe I should actually... Because I've considered going back and actually watching a bunch of stuff that I missed because I wasn't in the mood to watch it. I was like, all right, maybe I'm wrong.
Have you seen all the Jurassic World ones? I only saw the first one.
I didn't watch the third one. I watched the first one, which was enjoyable. The second one was dumb. The third one, I saw the trailer where there were dinosaurs in the snow, and I was pissed, and I was like, I ain't watching that garbage. You're telling me that these giant cold-blooded animals are in the snow? You don't understand shit about reptiles. Now, I'll give you this. There have been, interesting tidbits of data that's popped up where it's possible the dinosaurs were actually warm-blooded. Still, they don't have any fucking fur or anything. They wouldn't even have feathers. They wouldn't be in the snow. They would freeze to death. They're not fucking dragons. Anyway, so I thought that pissed me off. I was like, this is made by somebody who did not do 5 seconds of fucking research. Anyway, it annoyed me, so I didn't watch it. So I was watching, I saw this one's out, and I was like, maybe I'll give it a shot. And here's a few things that my buddy told me, and I trust him generally for movie stuff. So
also don't forget that these dinosaurs are technically frogs.
Technically, yes. Well, I believe Alan Grant describes it perfectly in Jurassic Park 3. These are genetically enhanced theme park monsters. So that's what they are. So they're not the real archaeologist makes discoveries in the soil. These are genetically enhanced theme park monsters. I think the quote goes kind of like that. Anyway.
Yeah, but Jurassic Park 3 also has a talking velociraptor.
Shut up. I'm not saying it was good. I'm saying that that's the best description. Anyway, yeah. So he told me a few things. Okay, so the movie's about a scientist dude who wants to get the DNA of the 3 largest dinosaurs to make a medicine for that will cure heart diseases and stuff, right? But he's the bad guy because he wants to charge people money for it. So like that son of a bitch risking his life. Anyway, so that's one thing. Second, Scarlett Johansson and a bunch of dudes are a group of mercenaries that get hired to go and escort him into this set island, right? The mercenaries don't bring any guns.
Well, because they don't want to kill the dinosaurs, because the dinosaurs have to be alive.
You're going into an island filled with fucking dinosaurs, and you don't bring a fucking gun. A gun. So let's just say from that point I was like, all right, this is too stupid. And third, the thing he said, it's not really about dinosaurs. Like the dinosaurs are barely in the movie. So there's like 2 dinosaurs and then the rest is actual monsters. And I don't mean genetically enhanced theme park monsters. I mean mistakes that they made. So there's dinosaurs with 4 arms and shit. So they're like actual monsters. And the logic for I'm
not gonna lie, I kind of fuck with that idea.
It could be interesting, but that's not.
I just don't. From what I've heard, they just didn't do it. They didn't. It sounds like a fun concept that they just didn't do anything with.
Well, here's the logic of. So the logic is basically, well, we made these things and we spent a bunch of money on it. We can't. So we need to hide them. And it's like, why didn't InGen just put them down? I mean, they already spent the money and they're not going to do anything with them. You're just wasting more money by keeping them alive. But the premise is stupid. The whole thing, it sounded just completely stupid. I was like, you know what? I ain't going to watch it. It just seems to, I didn't watch the previous one. I'm not in it. But to answer a question, because I saw Gus mention this earlier. I am in the middle of a conundrum and I want to vocalize it. And it's about Superman. So to read here, Gus asked us, y'all doing a Super Immigrant Man review when it comes out?
James Gunn just needs to shut the fuck up.
Wait. He also said, I'll read all these comments because the difference. Okay, it's sounding like Fantastic Four is going to be the centerpiece for the MCU moving forward. How we feeling about that? Frankly, I'm Pascal'd out. We'll talk about MCU in a bit. Chuck Dominguez like Gus, ha ha ha. Thank you. Finally, someone said about the dinosaurs. I don't know what he's saying. Oh, about the dinosaurs in the snow. Thank you. Jurassic Park show, the cartoon, Netflix is actually kind of good. Well, cartoons usually tend to be good, but anyway. So Superman.
Tell that to Tomb Raider anime.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I also heard that the Devil Might Cry one is not good.
No.
Devil May Cry. Anyway.
Nor is the He-Man anime without He-Man.
Okay, so I'm torn about this movie because when I saw the first trailer, I had absolutely zero desire to watch it. The main reason is because I saw there were too many fucking characters in it. So there's like too many villains, there's too many heroes, there's just too much for a single movie. It seemed like a bad idea. You're throwing too many fucking cooks in the kitchen. I didn't particularly like the portrayal of the Superman. I didn't like the whole crypto thing. It seemed dumb. And the most important thing, this does not feel like a good fit for James Gunn. James Gunn is an edgy comedy guy, darker. Superman is the opposite. He's the Boy Scout. He's fucking vanilla. He's supposed to be inspirational. It did not feel like a good fit. So,
James Gunn only knows how to make films with a big ensemble cast. That's the thing. That's why he's filling it with all these characters,
I guess. But the thing that worries me, because James Gunn, we know his movies. He's just going to throw every single piece of jokes at the wall and see what sticks, which it's fine. I guess that's his style. And oh crap, my camera's overheating. So I may lose video, but I won't lose audio. So I'll still be here. You may just only be watching Eric for a little bit. But anyway, let me just open the door. See if that helps.
Put a fan on it.
The fan was aiming at me, but I'll have to switch it.
The camera's more important than you.
No, the audio is more important. But anyway, so I had no desire to watch it. Then I started hearing all this bunch of dumb shit that James Gunn and the producer were saying, and I also saw I saw an interview. Okay, so I saw an interview with Nathan Fillion, and I wouldn't say interview, it was just like a red carpet thing. And the reporter clearly gave him a gotcha question, which is really, which is why I hate fucking reporters sometimes. But it was a clear gotcha question, and they mentioned
stop fucking them then.
Fair. And he basically says like, James Gunn said this basically that Superman is an immigrant, and people were really upset about that, blah blah. And so I went to see the James Gunn interview, and he does say that, okay, the movie's political, but it's about it's more about kindness, blah blah. And like you said, oh my god, I don't understand why directors and actors have to be this fucking stupid.
Why do they keep shooting their own fucking movies in the foot?
I don't understand. I don't fucking understand. I kind of get it. They want to get cool points with reporters sometimes. I get it. Actually, Nathan Fillion's answer was not the worst. The problem is that he sounded really condescending when he said it. So it's like, oof, sorry, dude. Like, I get it. He tries to kind of joke his way out of it, but yeah, it was not a good look for Nathan Fillion either. And I love Nathan Fillion, but anyway. So the issue here is now the movie's become political. So even if the movie's bad because it's objectively bad, I can't trust any reviews because it's going to be political. You know what I'm saying? So if the
reviews are, you already got the usual suspects who are going to shill for it.
Sure.
And you're already going to get the usual suspects who are going to hate it for,
dude, I prefer
its political themes.
I in general think I prefer DC. I defended the Zack Snyder movies, the extended versions, the director's cut. I've defended those movies because I genuinely like them. I love the direction they were going with Henry Cavill because it was different. It was a totally, completely different Superman. I like that. This is more of a.
I still like Man of Steel.
It's a great movie. It's a phenomenal action film.
I ain't apologizing for that.
Yeah,
I saw that movie in theaters 3 times.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't do that, but I own it on Blu-ray, so I think
one of them was with a girl.
That one was with me, right?
Yeah.
What was the better experience?
The girl.
Okay, I was like, man, maybe he really is transitioning. Anyway, so this is supposed to be more return to the old school Superman, like the nice guy, the good guy, the what was it?
Truth, Justice, and the Oh wait, no,
not that. But what is it? The Boy Scouty Superman, kind of the annoying one, but inspirational. Yeah, Golden Age Superman. There you go. So now I'm torn because you all right. So I'll just continue what I was saying. So I'm torn because I did not want to see it. I was maybe trying to be less bitter, and it's like easy content, so I'm kind of inclined to watch it. However, I don't want to give him money, so I'm not exactly sure what I should do, because I mean, it's gonna come out tomorrow in Mexico, so I could easily watch it either tomorrow or Thursday and do a review for Friday before it actually comes out in the US. So I don't know. Let me see. Let me read this a few comments here. Chuck Dominguez, buy a mini split for that room. I probably should. That's why I prefer watching DC anime movies. Yeah, the animated movies are great. And I hope your wife didn't hear that, Eric. Ha ha ha. I don't know that he's transitioning or what. I don't know. But anyway, so what are your
He fully
thoughts?
supports me.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that this marketing for this movie has been fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
Like,
Agree.
they've been. I don't like that they're bringing all these clips out and just random scenes from the movie. It's like,
To me, that the thing that annoys me the most is that it's like basically everything looks CGI. Everything
not just that,
over CGI.
Superman has not looked cool in any of these trailers. Whenever he's with when he goes with Lex Luthor, he's all angry. He's like, "Where's my fucking dog?" Ugh. And when he's with Lois, he's like, "Nobody understands me." Ugh. It's like, dude, why is he such a bitch? Why is he such a bitch? He's Superman.
See, I haven't even watched all those clips. I avoid them.
Cool, collected.
Yeah, I agree. I think the movie's gonna be bad, but I feel like I need to watch it so that I can objectively say it's bad, and from to see with eyes unclouded by hate. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna get drunk?
Maybe. Who knows? But let's see. Oh, the date thing.
I'm gonna watch the movie.
But are you gonna pay to watch? Is what I'm saying. Or are you just gonna wait for it to be on Max in 2 weeks?
Here's the thing. So right now, this is actually probably the most important month of the year. No, the most important month for superhero movies this decade.
Okay, elaborate.
Because if Superman and Fantastic Four both fail,
I
think the superhero fad is done.
It might be. Honestly, at least
Marvel?
the DCCU would definitely be as close to dead as dead can be.
Because if you can't make money with fucking Superman, dude, and I mean, Marvel, I don't think they've had a profitable movie this year.
Oh, we'll get to Marvel in a little bit.
So I think a lot of these studios are gonna just start being like, you know what, we're gonna cut back. We're majorly cutting back on these products. And if Superman fails, the next movie that's coming out is Batman.
I mean, sure. I think
because that is the guarantee.
I think it's them, and it's just gonna be Batman and Spider-Man. That's it. No more other superhero movies. That's it. Those are the only ones. I think The Brave and the Bold is coming next. I don't know, but yeah, I think this will it'll be make or break for the DCCU for sure. And so I'm inclined towards watching it so I can objectively say good or bad, give an objective review, because I think people trust my takes. They might not agree with them, but they trust that I'm being honest, and it's not going to be political. And that's the thing that's annoying. You remember what I said when the pandemic started? We're not going to bring any of the real world shit into this podcast. That should be the way that any single creative looks at their product, right? So if you're making a movie, you should be, I mean, I guess unless it's a documentary or something, you should try your best to keep all the real world shit out of it, because you're just gonna piss people off for no reason. You're not gonna win anything. It's not.
I just saw a very interesting video essay or whatever you call it on YouTube, where it talks about part of the reason why modern movies and shows in general have just not been clicking with audiences. And the reason is authors are supposed to write what they know, right?
Yep.
You're supposed to write about what you know.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, authors are writing about themselves.
Oh yeah, they're projecting 100%.
They're just projecting. Like, even sometimes literally, like, did you ever see fucking Velma?
No, I'm not gonna watch Velma. But I saw.
Well, I saw.
Yeah, but I saw like clips and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, that's Mindy Kaling. So yeah,
That is the director right there.
mm-hmm.
The Acolyte. That was basically a big fucking therapy session for Leslie Headland.
Okay.
Like, she was just projecting all of her fucking bullshit onto the screen.
See,
It's
no,
like, dude,
no, again,
you're supposed to tell a story.
No, what?
And you can bring in your personal experiences or your your own way of looking at the world, but at the end of the day, you're supposed to actually be doing it in service of the characters, the plot,
Okay,
the development.
I agree with you, but I think you're going in a different direction. Because I mean, I'll give James Gunn this. The issue is not that you write about what you know. The issue, stick to what you know, write about what you know, is a different way of saying do fucking research, right? Like, do
He
your
literally
research.
put in his fucking dog in the movie.
Shut up. I'm saying like do your research. I do believe that James Gunn has read Superman comics. I do believe that he did do a deep dive to get like freaking Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. I do believe that he does his research. The issue
James
here,
Gunn was supposed to do a Superman movie years ago, and to quote him directly, he just couldn't crack it. You couldn't crack fucking Superman?
no, dude,
Are you kidding me, dude?
I get that. Superman is difficult. Like, how do you make somebody who's basically perfect interesting? Now, I mean, if
You copy the comics.
yeah, I agree. What I would do in that situation,
I wish there was like, almost
blueprint.
100 years of successful stories told with this character.
yeah. So what I would do is basically I'd find like the 20 best Superman stories, read them, and then go from there. Right? That's what I would do. You go to the community. I get it. I understand. It's still not. I mean, it's not easy to put on the cape, man. Like I get it. Like if you give me a superhero to write a story for, Superman's a tough one. However, here he gave it to himself, so he's supposed to take on the challenge. And the issue is that he's the one torpedoing the whole thing, because the way he's trying to sell it. This is a very easy sell. Like it's the easiest sell in the fucking world, because you don't even have to mention it. Like let's say even if you want to go into the immigrant thing, everybody knows it. And you don't even if some people hadn't realized, like, man, I hadn't realized Superman's an immigrant, since that's a hot topic right now. You mention it afterwards. You mention it after the movies come out. So that when people are like, man, I love that movie, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a movie about immigration and the good things about it. And people be like, huh, maybe. But you don't say it beforehand if it's a controversial topic at the moment. It's just bad business. Stupid. Anyway, what are you gonna say?
So, there's a really good movie with a lot of, very blatant political overtones and undertones and subtext and all this stuff, and criticizes capitalism and consumerism and all this fun stuff. It's called Fight Club.
Yeah.
But when you talk about Fight Club, you think
You don't talk
what do you
about
think
Fight
of
Club.
first?
You don't talk about Fight Club.
Well, that's the first rule.
Yeah.
Sometimes the second rule as well.
Yeah.
But when you at least think about a movie like that, you think, man, that was a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then later on, you can be like, hey, and it actually had some interesting, things to say, and it was pretty fucking overt with its message, right? It was pretty fucking on the nose.
But you let the movie do the talking.
You let the movie do the talking. You don't beat your fucking audience over the head with it. Now I feel like I'm gonna go into the movie and just get fucking lectured.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I don't want to feel like I'm being lectured. And also, different time. And also, there's, like, for example, people are complaining, like, you don't keep Real Day out of comic books and stuff. Comic books have been used for political stuff before. Like, I remember the X-Men and gay people. It's like, all right, you don't notice it until you notice it. And when you notice it, like, oh, okay, I can understand the arguments. Like
X-Men was about segregation.
It was also about gay people. Like, you remember X2? Like, have you ever tried not being a mutant? So yeah.
Well, I mean, that's more for, I don't know if they ever did that with the comics, but I know Stanley's original intention was.
If you read God Loves, Man Kills or something, that's a storyline from the X-Men. You can see it like, oh, I see it. I can see the correlation. It's fine. But it's not overt. They're not ramming it down your throat, which is, they're making an argument per se, but they're using a fun way of actually showing it. But anyway, point is, I'll probably watch Superman. I'm right now, I'm leaning more towards watching it just so that I can give an objective review, because I don't think I can trust any reviews that I see right now. I mean, you probably can't even trust mine, to be honest. But because, again, it's going to be polarizing for no fucking reason. It's Superman. It should not be polarizing at all, but whatever. Anyway, let's see.
Everybody needs to remember the wise words of Michael Jordan. Republicans buy shoes too.
Yeah, smart.
Okay? Don't piss off your audience for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Just put out a product and let people make up their fucking minds about it.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so saying Chuck being like the first Joker was good, and then they have to fucking ruin it with the second movie. Velma, bleh. The whole point about the movie is to escape from reality for 2 hours. Have you seen The Ballerina? No, I have not, and I agree. You're supposed to escape reality. So we're moving on to the MCU. So the MCU.
I heard Ballerina was okay. I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it yet. But I do want to. So the MCU's had a series of major flops recently. So the Thunderbolts, I think they lost a ton of money. I honestly, I know that the new Captain America movie, they lost a ton of money. And I found out that those movies were in theaters pretty much like when they were in theaters. Like, wow, I didn't hear anything about these movies. I didn't see any memes about them afterwards. So the problem is that everybody...
We're in the apathy stage of the MCU, pretty much.
Well, no, it's because
nobody cares about these characters.
Well, true, nobody cares about those characters, and they've made shitty stuff. So Agatha All Along came out, didn't watch it because it's who the fuck cares about Agatha Harkness or whatever her name is. And right now, I think Ironheart is out and it's bombing. The reviews are bombing. So literally, like as you said, the last Hail Mary that they have is the Fantastic Four. Like that's if the Fantastic Four bombs, if it like the first family of Marvel bombs for Marvel, because again, the other ones came out that were made, I think, by Fox or whatever. I can understand those sucking, but this is Marvel, and I think they are basing like who was it, Chuck or Gus? Yeah, Gus said like this is going to finally bring everything together. The next big villain for Avengers is supposed to be Doctor Doom. If this movie,
it's a start of Phase 6, supposedly.
I have no idea, but if this movie bombs, I think it's very much likely that they're going to, let's just say, change the upcoming calendar releases for the MCU. What?
They're still gonna. Fantastic Four, they got a lot riding on this movie, but I think it's mainly going to be how Avengers Doomsday goes. Because they're already making it, they're already spending all that money. Doomsday is going to be like the death knell.
Like right now,
if it underperforms.
Listen, dude, I saw the trailer for this movie.
Avengers Doomsday is going to make money. I can pretty much guarantee it, but they need to make a fuck ton of money because like they're paying a lot of fucking money for all those actors.
Dude, I saw the trailer for the Fantastic Four movie. I could not care less. Like, honestly, I didn't feel even the tiniest bit excited about it. It's the dude who made WandaVision. So it's got that kind of WandaVision look, aesthetic. But I hated... I enjoyed the WandaVision show because I thought it was going somewhere. Then it didn't go any fucking where. And so I don't trust the director, creator that much. The cast, I'm like, meh.
They also try to make us feel like Wanda wasn't the villain.
Yeah, kind of, which was...
That was weird.
I get it.
She enslaved an entire town, guys.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Which is weak.
Also,
she should have enslaved the entire world. Anyway, continue.
Sure. And no, she should have started... They should have just turned into fucking House of M, but whatever.
That's my call. That's my thing. You can't steal my bit.
Everybody said it.
No, I said it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I said it.
I think the biggest crime with this movie, Fantastic Four, is that they're actually trying to make me think. They're trying to actually make me believe that Pedro Pascal is the smartest man in the universe. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Listen, to me, I don't like the suits. I don't like the I don't like anything.
I'm okay with the suits.
I don't like the suits.
It's got a classic look. The thing looks kind of silly in that picture, but overall, I don't hate his look. Sue Storm, I didn't know that actress was only 38. She looks like she's in her late 40s. I'm not gonna lie. And Johnny Storm.
I never seen her before. Johnny Storm
looks like
a douche.
David Bowie's. I don't know.
No, Johnny Storm looks like a douche.
He looks like a terrible David Bowie impersonator. I don't know. I'm just not vibing with it. The trailers, they kind of had an interesting, retro futuristic idea going on. Female Silver Surfer is stupid.
Dude,
supposedly Galactus is just going to destroy the entire universe and they're going to switch over to the main universe, I guess. I'm assuming.
Right now, all the multiverse stuff has not made any sense whatsoever. Every single chance they've had to bring everything together, they've fumbled the ball. Like there was, Ant-Man's gonna do it.
They did get rid of Kang because of Jonathan Majors,
which is stupid. It's like we got rid of Black Panther because the actor died. Just cast somebody else. I mean, if they could
he's central to the character, dude. Because it's not like there's literally an infinite amount of variations of him.
If they can recast fucking Superman because the actor got in an accident, they can recast anybody. They recast Rachel in between Batman Begins and Dark Knight. Nobody cares. Exactly. So listen, I'm not excited. I may watch stuff. The big issue with Doomsday, it's like I'm sorry, it's Doomsday? No, it's not Doomsday. Avengers. Is it
Doomsday?
Oh, the big issue there is like I'm not gonna know who half the characters are nor care. Like, who's this guy? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Chuck Dominguez says it gives him Hush vibes. Are you talking about the Ballerina or Fantastic Four? Anyway.
I think he means Ballerina, and honestly, that's a good sell.
That's a really good sell. Anyway, moving on to, honestly, news that makes me kind of happy. It's been announced that The Last of Us creator Neil fucking Druckmann is leaving the show. So for those of you who don't know, Neil Druckmann is this. I was gonna say something not so nice, but let's just say this overhyped hack or oversold. What's the word I'm looking for?
He's a bad writer.
Okay, yeah. This talentless hack. Better. Well, not talentless. He did make he did help make the first Last of Us. But anyway, so
okay. I'll give him fucking credit. Okay. The way I understand it is, he wrote. He's a type of writer. He's like a George Lucas kind of guy.
Okay.
Where it's like he has just a fuck ton of ideas, but he needs people to just tell him no.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So with the original trilogy, George Lucas had a lot of people who told him, okay, maybe let's cut that out like that. No. A lot of great ideas, but if you let him, he'll go to his excesses and it will not be great.
Anyway, so this makes me particularly happy because for a very long time, I was very upset with this man, Neil Druckmann, because he ruined The Last of Us Part 2. Probably one of the easiest slam dunks in video game history, and he ruined it. And he just completely butchered and destroyed the franchise, and I hate him for it. And I hate it.
What do you mean? It won Game of the Year and all these accolades.
Yeah,
everybody loved it, right?
They're a bunch of talentless hacks, too. Anyway, so I hated this man, and I said that he was a talentless hack. And now I'm happy because season 1 of The Last of Us was always going to be a success because The Last of Us Part 1 is actually pretty good. It's with Part 2 where I was like, yeah, this is where shit's going to hit the fan, particularly for normies. And lo and behold, everybody hates season 2. Nobody finished watching it. Everybody's upset. And so HBO is upset. And so Neil Druckmann has had to step away from this. And so it's beautiful.
Hey.
What's up?
I definitely tuned in to watch Pedro Pascal get his brains bashed in.
But you didn't finish the season. And that wasn't even the season finale. I don't even know what the season finale was. I don't care. But anyway.
I just saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, fair enough. So here's the statement that Neil Druckmann made. I've made the difficult decision to step away from my creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO With work completed on season 2 and before any meaningful work starts on season 3, now is the right time for me to transition to my complete focus to Naughty Dog and its future projects, including writing and directing our exciting next game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, which by the way looks like crap, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. Co-creating the show has been a career highlight. It's been an honor to work alongside Craig Mason, to executive producer, blah, blah, whatever. Yeah, this sounds a lot like the dude was
fired.
No, he was going to get fucking fired, and they told him, either you walk away with, you know, honor, or we will fire your fucking ass because your show turned to shit. And everybody stopped watching it. And we're already under contract for season 3. We're already going to spend a buttload of money. We're probably going to lose it. So get your ass out the fucking door. You decide if it's with your head held high or if there's a boot print on your fucking ass. That's what they told them. And good fucking riddance. Good for HBO. I don't think they can save season 3 because, again, it's going to be kind of difficult when they gave him a story setup that's already shit, but they probably can, maybe. I don't know. Point is,
they can change it.
It's about time.
Hell, honestly, at this point, I'm kind of rooting for Abby.
Whatever. I don't even know who the actress. I don't know if I hate the actress from the show because I hated the girl from the video game. I hated her ass. But anyway.
Well, the actress is actually kind of cute, and also nobody likes Ellie, so just
fair enough. Fair enough. The point is, good fucking riddance. So long. Farewell. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. And hopefully, you know what, honestly, hopefully he takes this as a lesson and he brings that over to the video game world where he's like, hey, you know what? Maybe I kind of suck at writing stuff, so maybe I should get somebody else here, but probably not. This dude is way too fucking arrogant, and I think he's just going to continue destroying other IPs until they fire him from Naughty Dog as well. You can fucking quote me on it. Naughty Dog will let him go within the next 5 years.
I will quote you on that because I think he has way too much power within Naughty Dog. He got rid of anybody who would have opposed him.
Yeah, if they lose money, particularly on that next game, they're gonna can his ass. But anyway, let's see. Chuck Dominguez says, I give he's talking about the Batman movie with Patterson or whatever his name is. Yeah, Robert Pattinson. I think the next one.
I like that movie.
I think the next one will be Brave and the Bold. My issue with the Batman movie is it has good things. The problem is that Batman. Everybody says that it's Batman detective movie. He's shown his detective skills. It's like Batman's a terrible detective in that movie.
Basically, yeah, I had an issue with that because he loses.
Yeah, basically the Riddler. He does exactly what the Riddler wants the entire time. It's like he plays to the fiddle to the T. So it's like I don't feel like this is a movie of Batman being a competent detective, but whatever. Anyway, moving on.
Did I not understand it, or he lost, right?
From where I'm standing, he lost, but whatever. I mean, he didn't lose because the villain decided to get himself arrested to avoid a fucking flood instead of just, leaving town and winning clean. But whatever. Anyway, the final.
Listen, overall, I liked it better than Dark Knight Rises.
I like the aesthetic. I like the fights. I like the performance, but whatever. Anyway, final piece of news, video game related, is have you heard of Stop Killing Games?
Like some sort of initiative against live service games?
Not live service games. So it's something that's going on in the EU, the European Union, and basically they're trying to get 1 million signatures to basically make video game companies try to do their best not to kill video games for no reason. So let's say, for example, they just announced that Anthem will be cut off forever. And so they're like, well, at least try to give us an option of making an independent server so that games just don't fucking die. So, for example,
EA did that with Battlefield games, I think.
Yeah, no, Ubisoft did it with The Crew, I think. And so they just all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, this game's done. It's like you could have kept the game alive offline and you could have left players because players bought skins and stuff.
Players can make their own servers.
Yeah, so the issue is like, dude, you basically stole all our money. So
I believe Arc is like that, right? And where it's all player-based servers.
I think so. I'm not sure. I don't know that much about that particular thing, but maybe. The point is, dude, why? I understand it not being viable to keep a live service game if there's no players. I understand that totally. And usually most live service games, they tend to be free. So I don't really hate that. The issue is people spent money on your product and you just yank it away. That doesn't seem right to me. That seems like you're stealing, because all of a sudden, if you told me I'm going to make this game and within 10 years, this game won't exist anymore, so all the time and money that you've invested into it, you're going to lose it, I would not get that game. So it's particularly if it's a game that could be alive afterwards. Like what is it? So there's games where they've lost the rights to them, then I get you can't sell them again. But if you've already bought, like Transformers Cybertron, so the War for Cybertron or something, that's an example that I've heard being used a lot. And there's also a Spider-Man game. So they're like, okay, so you could have just kept the game offline. I can't buy it again from you, but if I already purchased it, why can't I, download it again? I already paid for it. Let me keep playing it. But no, so that's the movement, and I get it. And honestly, I agree with it mostly, at least, on the surface, that either they need.
It seems like they need to make a change.
Either companies need to tell you in the fucking box, we may cancel this we can cancel this product at any time, because pretty much that's what they're arguing, or we will keep it alive offline. Because honestly, there's a big issue in the gaming world, and I'm gonna come a little bit bigger here. There's a big issue, and I was hearing an interview with the CEO of the company that owns Rockstar Games. His dude's name's Strauss Selznick, and he kept referring to gamers as consumers. And he said that, well, he doesn't play video games. And honestly, I agree with his take. Like, I don't play video games, so I don't criticize it, as a consumer in chief. I bring in the best people, they create the stuff, blah, blah. So he's a money guy. And so he runs things like a money guy. And so he looks at gamers like consumers. And it kept gnawing at me. It bugged me. And so...
we are.
No, I get it. But then I realized, holy shit, gamers might be the worst fucking consumers in the world. Or at least the gaming side of my personality might be the worst side that I have. Because normally, when I buy any other product, let's say I buy milk, I intend to use the milk within a week. I intend to actually consume it. With video games, a lot of the times, like, okay, I pre-order it sometimes if I really trust the creator or something, and then I just keep it there and I wait. Like some video games, I on purposely wait at least a few months until I know they fix all the bugs and stuff, and then like, okay, then I'll play it. And so I'm like, man, how many games do I have that I've just bought for cheap and I just kept there that I haven't even played? And how many?
Well, they're so time consuming. It's not like a movie where, and I mean even now it's hard to keep up with movies, but freaking at least you get done with one in what, 2 hours?
Yeah. So my point
2
here,
hours you might still be in the tutorial.
So my point here is logically you might still be creating your character. So logically, we should not be buying video games until we intend to play them. Because first off, it's gonna take a little bit of time for us to, like, I have a queue of freaking, the rule that I have now is that I can't buy a video game unless I finish another one. So that's kind of how I'm doing it, and it's worked out. But I usually have a queue of video games that I already have planned or am planning to play or I want to finish or whatever. And so if I waited until I'm actually planning on playing that game, the game would probably be cheaper by them anyway. Or I could get it used or whatever. So
not if it's a Nintendo game.
Probably not. That might be the exception, right? So
Nintendo smart.
It's one of those things like, huh? So the reason why that comment was gnawing at me, was bugging me, it's because he's fucking right. But we're terrible consumers. Like, we should stop. If we actually demanded games to, to actually give me the quality that I expect, they'd be fucked. Like the video game industry would be fucked if gamers just decided, you know what, I'm not buying a video game until I finish another one, and until all the bugs are finished, everything's cleared out, and then I'll see what the price is. They'd be fucked because they're spending, the budgets for some of these video games are bigger than MCU movies. They're hundreds of millions of dollars, and a lot of them aren't even worth it. At least video games that I've seen lately, it's like, really? That you spent $100 million on that? Jesus Christ.
I mean,
so
a lot of these companies, Ubisoft has gone to shit, BioWare has gone to shit.
Well, because it's money.
Because
it's money people running that shit. Oh, dude, Microsoft laid off thousands of employees recently, and I mean like last week, thousands. So I mean, they have like 200,000 employees, but they got rid of a good percentage of them, and it was like Call of Duty people, like the people who make the games that actually make money. Now, if they got rid of a bunch of middle managers who don't do shit, fine, I get it. You know, don't let the door hit you. Yeah, but the issue is that it's being run by money people. What is the problem with money people who are not gamers? They only care about making money, so they're like, okay, more microtransactions. Make it so that it takes players longer to finish it, not make it more fun. Like a gamer would be like, let's make this more fun. I think you watch the games made by indie studios or all stuff like that, they actually care about making the game fun so that you stay there the longest time possible. Big studios,
they have to.
They have to. Other studios, they're like, man, like, what's the stupid game that Bethesda made that they're in space? I don't know. Starfield. You can't use a vehicle when you're on a planet. From what I saw, it's like, so the game is on Game Pass, and so Game Pass wants you to stay there as long as possible. So they want you to stay in the game as long as possible. How do you do that? You don't give them a vehicle they can use when they're on planets, stuff like that. So it's just dumb little shit that somebody made the decision.
I would believe that Bethesda just can't program a goddamn car.
Fair enough, maybe.
Those fuckers, all of their games come out buggy as shit. They're still running on the fucking Oblivion engine, I'm pretty sure.
I saw something. I don't know if it's real or not, but I think there was a Fallout game where they just could not make a train or a trolley work. They just couldn't. And so what they did is they made an NPC, and they made his hat a train, and they put him underground, and so he would have to be walking where the track is, so that they coded him that way. And so that's how they managed to get the train to fucking work, by creating a character whose head was the train, which is just fucking ridiculous but hysterical at the same time.
Listen, it's outside the box thinking. I like it.
All right, but anyway, I think it's a good place to stop on the video game side.